Greetings, I'm Neoslice, and welcome back to my channel. The hardest boss fight in Elden Ring has been nerfed. Promised Consort Radahn, the final boss of the Shadow of the Erdtree DLC in Elden Ring, has received a massive nerf. In case you're out of the loop or you don't play Elden Ring, this is widely known as the hardest boss in all of the Souls-like games, including Bloodborne. So I've just spent the past 2 hours testing all of my builds on the final boss of the DLC. Now this took a long time, but I really wanted to make sure that the boss felt different. And this is going to be my review. Let's take a look at the patch notes. Change the section pattern when the battle starts. This means you will no longer be attacked as soon as you enter the boss battle. You will have at least 5 seconds to set up, run around the map, and come up with new strategies. Adjusted some attack moves. Now the developer hasn't gone in depth or explained what that means, but after trying this boss battle for about 2 hours, I can safely say that the first phase is much easier. A lot of the attacks are far slower, making it a lot more accessible for new players and all kinds of gamers. Decrease the damage and stamina of some attacks. This is pretty self-explanatory, but essentially you will not lose as much health as you did before, or stamina. This is huge. This boss battle requires you to dodge a lot, so having a lot of stamina will help you in the long run. Decrease the attack range of some non-weapon based attack. Contrary to popular belief, this doesn't target all of Radahn's holy attacks, because it specifically states non-weapon based attacks. So what that means is those purple circles that he does every now and then when he absorbs everything around you and pulls you towards him, and of course, yes, some holy attacks in phase 2 and specifically 3 when he jumps down from outer space and lands in the arena. The AoE is far smaller, at least based in my opinion, in my own experience. But yes, the damage hasn't really gone down to a point where it's incredibly easy now. I think the boss battle is a lot more balanced. That's the best way to describe these new changes. Whereas before, you had to be a stellar player and be very experienced to beat this DLC. Now, let's get right into the gameplay review. I finally beat Radahn with a build that I had concocted after trying for about an hour of only faith builds. I've tried a variety of different playstyles. I've even tried playing like a pretend noob. Now, mind you, I'm not the best player in Elden Ring. In fact, chances are that you're most likely better than me, even if you're an average player. Now, mind you, this doesn't mean the boss is easier. I just think it's more balanced, as phase 2 still feels the same. It is still very incredibly difficult to master, and you will take a lot of damage if you don't know how to dodge or time the delayed holy attacks. But overall, if I were to give you my honest opinion, this boss battle feels a lot slower and more manageable. That's the best way to describe it. It's more balanced. Whereas before, it just felt like the developers really didn't test this that much. But I still managed to beat Radahn 3 times before this nerf, so I can't really complain. Anyway, I ultimately managed to defeat the final boss with this build right here. I used the Bloodfiend's arm, which was recently nerfed in the previous update. Now this weapon is still incredibly good. Pairing it up with Endure and a Blood Infusion really makes this weapon shine, as Radahn will get staggered after you perform 2 heavy attacks. The strategy here is to overwhelm him with steady attacks, but mind you, you still need to learn the patterns and know how to play the game. Once again, I can't stress this enough, this boss battle is not easy. It's still very challenging. So go try it yourself. I think this is a really good change, overall makes for a good experience for all players, and it's far more enjoyable. As always, please consider leaving a like, subscribe. I have a lot of guides on my channel, gameplay, live streams, and a lot more stuff that I have cooking for you. So stay tuned by clicking the bell, Let me know in the comments down below, do you agree with these changes? Do you think the game is easier? Or do you think this is a good change? I personally think it's a good change. More players means more games, and I'm content with that. Anyway, take care and have a wonderful day.